Nigeria's main opposition party? Or is it? Whether it is in Rivers, Delta, or even Osun State, oppositions to the People's Democratic Party are gearing up to take those governorship seats as party structures start to waver in places like Edo. How will they keep control? As political alliances build up in preparation for the 2027 general elections, how united is this party? From the National Working Committee issues to a convention we're hoping will hold soon, a new national secretary who could not access the party secretariat and took NWC members to visit the party's governors allegedly without the blessing of the party's acting national chairman or not, to an acting national chairman who many say is in crisis, and a presidential candidate many in the party say has the right to run again but probably shouldn't. And alliances with Peter Obi of the Labour Party, which some party faithful believe is the only way to beat the ruling APC in the presidential elections in 2027. What is going on with the People's Democratic Party? Hello and welcome to Political Paradigm, live on Channels Television. I'm Kayla Magwa. Unlocking these issues and giving us a clearer understanding of the inner workings of the People's Democratic Party is the former National Publicity Secretary of the party, Mr. Ologbondiyan. It's nice to have you on the program. Happy New Year.
Good afternoon, Kayla. Happy New Year to you. It's been a while.
It has. How have you been?
I can see that you are doing well,
oh,
in spite of the challenges of the country.
You know, when people say that, it sounds like a compliment. It's not really. They're trying to say you live outside of the problems, but I do live in the problems.
I can understand.
How has it been for the party? Because since we brought up the issue of surviving, how is the People's Democratic Party surviving these hard times?
Well, for the People's Democratic Party, I can clearly say that it's passing through a recalibration process. And when I say it's going through a recalibration process, I'm happy you mentioned the fact that, the party now has a new national secretary, although you say that he could not access
his office. That was the report last week.
But he was in the National Secretariat to formally present himself and to look at the situation and look at what he can recommend and what he can advise the party upon. But having said that, I think that for majority of the members of the party, the new approach as we enter into 2025, in which the party can now jettison the former National Secretary who actually went to contest the election and came back to resume the same office, and the High Court ruled that that is not right, and he went to the appeal court, and the appeal court has now ruled to say that having gone to contest the election, you can no longer function in that particular position any longer, and rule in the favor of SKE, Ude Okoye, and lawyer said that it's a judgment that requires what is it called? An appeal from the Supreme Court. And until that is done, Ude Okoye should be recognized as the National Secretary. So I believe that the party is undergoing the required recalibration as we speak.
Something happened in your party. In fact, that press briefing is going on right now as we speak. The press corps of the People's Democratic Party condemning the assault on Ndubisi Oji, a journalist, a correspondent for the Sun newspaper. And he was apparently, according to their report, he was attacked by one Emmanuel Okurunkwo, who's a PDP staff that's attached to the office of the ousted National Secretary, Senator Samuel Anyanwu. And of course, it happened at the Wadata Plaza. I think it happened yesterday, just yesterday at the
I read of
Plaza.
it yesterday.
So it's been quite an embarrassing situation. I know that the press briefing is on right now, just to give us an idea of how the party feels about this, because this hasn't been a good reputation. It didn't give the party a good reputation.
Well, when I came in here, I met with you and I met with the correspondent from Channels who covers the party, and he said he was going to attend a press conference. I think the action is condemnable. I do not think that Senator Samuel Anyanwu should recourse to self-help. If you are in office and the court judgment says that step aside from that office, I think the right thing to do is to obey the court's judgment. And it is unfortunate that it is this same leadership of the party who has introduced the resort to court decision in holding party offices. So if the court decision is no longer in your favor, I think what is honorable and what is expected is for you to step aside. Now, going further, to now allow a staff of yours to go to the secretariat, manhandling a journalist, whose responsibility it is to cover that bit, is very, very disturbing. I
want to be able to get the entire statement out there, just so people can see, because that is breaking news that we have right now. So apparently the attack, according to the press call here, it says a grave violation of press freedom and a direct assault on the rights of journalists, and as essential members of a functional democracy, journalists owe the society an obligation to carry out their duties without fear of violence or any form of intimidation. Now, they're saying this incident is not only a breach of Mr. Orji's fundamental human rights, but also undermines the core principles of free speech and media independence, a virtue which the PDP lays claim to. And that brings me to the question about the PDP. Recently, the concept of anti-party activities has been on the front burner. And really, we have to credit Senator Magnus Abbey for the things that he said. And after saying it, we've all been looking at all of you politicians. Really? Is this who you say who you are? He said this is who you are. Was pointing out people and made it look like anti-party activities is a norm. It's just a thing that we do. So we start to ask ourselves, who are these politicians? What are these political parties? And what do they stand for? I'll start with the PDP. Who are you people? Well, and what do you stand for?
Well, Killer,
and how are you different from the APC?
Killer, I can clearly say that people play politics in different ways. It's like, oh, we go to church. I'm a Christian. You are a Christian. Maybe another person is a Christian. Or I'm a Muslim. You are a Muslim. Another person is a Muslim. The functionality of our affairs in life is what we should be judged with individually. We should not, on the basis of the action of any individual, generalize attitude and say, oh, that is who they are. I draw example for myself. I have never done anti-party. Whether the candidate that has been nominated was my initial choice at the point of convention or at the point of Congress or not. Once it is the party's candidate, the norm in a democracy is that you align with the candidate of your party. But it's unfortunate in our own environment here, where if it doesn't go your way, you want to bring down the house. You want to bring down everything. You forget where you are coming from. You forget who you are because it didn't flow your way. And like Nigerians, that the Gen Z will say, people chop breakfast in politics. It's very easy to chop breakfast in politics. So when it is your turn to chop breakfast in politics, chop it and move on. And wait for the next time, whether it could be in your favor. Support the candidate of your party. So I think that is the point that Senator Magnus Abbey was referencing to, in alleging that every one of them in Rivers State did one form of anti-party or the other. But you also know that until every individual comes out to say, oh yes, I agree with Magnus Abbey that I did anti-party, you cannot be totally judgmental. You know what you did. You might not know. I know in politics it's very easy because people call it Oja Okunkun. That is a black market. You understand? Because you and I can sit down here and agree onto a situation. Then in the morning, on the election day, because you aren't going to go into the box with me, I can go and vote against what we agree upon. You understand? So these are circumstances, but it depends on what the individual actually did at the end. Just that not everybody will come out and confess what they did, because voting is personal. Who do you people stand for? What is the PDP? People's Democratic Party. Yes. What is your ideology? Who are you? Our ideology as a party, like our name connotes, we are for the people. And that's why when you take a look back, or even if you look at spaces where we have governance activities in the subnational today, you can see a clear difference in the form of governance that we operate compared to what the people on the other side do. Because our policy is directed towards the people, how to bring a better life for the people. So that's what the PDP is? Oh, the party that gives a better life to the people? Correct. The APC say they are like that too? Well, they say. Labour Party say they are like that too? They say. But, you know, okay, maybe in the let me take APC, for instance. You find a reflection in the commitment that People's Democratic Party has towards the people in the APC. You say, I'm not asking you to judge because you tell me now that you are a journalist. You understand? But I can clearly say, and if you go on the street and ask Nigerians today and say, oh, 16 years of PDP, 10 years of APC. Can you compare? They will tell you that they have lifted the oil and they have lifted the water, and they know that which is heavier. I am convinced. I come to the conviction of my own heart. I think the PDP is better than the APC.
What's the difference? I'm sorry if it seems like I'm overflogging the issue.
Yes, yes.
What is the difference between the PDP and the APC in your view?
In my own view, the difference...
Ideology-wise,
yes.
not whether one is better than the other.
Yes, in the PDP...
Ideology-wise, what's the difference?
In PDP, we stand for justice. We represent freedom. We believe that the ordinary people out there must have a life. And that's why in our policies, in the policies that were implemented in the life of the PDP, you will see it clearly that it tended towards upgrading the lives of the people. And like I said earlier, go to our states. You understand? Is it on the ground of health? Is it in the area of education? You understand? You will find out that our governors are working. But you will not say the same about APC. It's so unfortunate that the trauma, the economic trauma that Nigerians are passing through presently, has sort of almost beclouded our senses or even of judgment. That is why they will tell Nigerians today that, oh, we have brought down the price of a liter of fuel to 950 naira from 1,000 to 1,003, and people are jubilating because they have forgotten where they are coming from, possibly. That on May 28, 2023, that a liter of fuel was selling for 190 or 195. And within a span of 2 years, somebody has raised it, or the policies brought by the APC government has increased the liter of fuel to 1,002 or 1,000.
The president said this couldn't have been helped. He says we're living in a fool's paradise under the PDP.
No, you can't. No.
He said we're living in a fool's paradise. These are not realistic lives that we're living. But now, with the removal of these things, of subsidy, floating the naira, doing all of these things, we're finally becoming a realistic country.
To the ordinary Nigerian out there, they will not believe. There's something the white people call bekun. That is, you are overfed. You understand? And you have a situation where the ordinary Nigerian out there is even selling his possession to feed. Then we have a presidential system that cannot use the aircraft that had been used by successive regimes and government, but had to go and buy a new aircraft. That cannot use the fleet of vehicles in the presidential villa.
Yeah, but Mr. Kola, let's not join the matters. Hold on a second.
Let me make my own point now.
If we're discussing, we're discussing the economic situation of the country.
Yes.
Now, remove the policies of the president do not mean the same thing as we asking the president to reduce the spending of government. Those are two totally different things. The fact that somebody is still spending frivolously doesn't mean that the decision that the person made, in removing the fuel subsidy and floating the naira, that these were wrong. Is that what you're saying? They go together. It's a different thing if you're telling him reduce your spending.
You asked a question.
Yes.
And the question was that, what is the difference between the PDP and the APC? And we cannot isolate the parties without discussing the policies of the government that they run. It's not possible now. Then we'll be speaking abstractly. And I don't think that's the purpose of this sitting. Because you have told me that we are here to gist. You didn't tell me that, we are going to engage in fight. It's to gist. So if we are gisting, we must gist realistically, in line with whatever that is empirical. What is realistic? And I am saying that in the PDP government, yes, life was better. And I am saying that it's far better than what we are witnessing today. And I have also dwelt on policies of this government that makes the situation in PDP better than what we have in APC. But let me leave it that way. Okay.
All right. But you still didn't tell me what the difference is. Because when APC people sit there, they say the same thing. They have their own ideas. Misrule. That's what they always use when they talk about the PDP. Years of decades of misrule and corruption.
But today,
we brought sanity.
I've said it here, that if you go on the street now, on this Asokoro street, and you find an average Nigerian, and you ask him, are you living better now than you were living 10 years ago? What do you think his answer would be? He will say no, clearly, no. So as a party, the PDP is more concerned, just like its name connotes, the People's Democratic Party. The party is more concerned with the people. People say that, oh, because certain individuals or people are jumping from one party to the other, because of that, there's no ideological differences. I don't subscribe to that view. I believe that there are ideological differences. We are a democratic party. The other people call themselves progressives. But what is progressive? In a situation where even the president himself came out and said he has a friend who before he came into office had 5 limousines. But today, it has been reduced to the level of a Honda Accord. So what does that say? Does that suggest progressiveness? I don't think so. I might be wrong, but I don't think so.
What's the status of your party's acting national chairman?
Oh,
who is the person in that office right now? Because last time I heard you speak on this man, you said Mr. Damagum is suspended. There's nothing that can be done about it.
Yes.
He remains suspended. That's what I heard you say.
Yes. But you know, in party politics, there are agreements, there are disagreements. There are theses, there are antitheses. So the party now went back and sat down and said, okay, in view of the circumstance, instead of allowing the party to be divided, let us still allow Ambassador Ilyasu, Umar Damagum, to continue. But that does not remove the fact of my own assessment that with Umar Damagum as acting national chairman, the party cannot make progress. It doesn't remove that fact. I have said it before. I'm saying it today. If you wake me up in the sleep in 10 years' time, I will say the same thing. Because that is the truth. Because in your analysis, you did say that our party is being taken over, that even our governors are being threatened. And I am saying that the political style of the Damagum leadership is weak. And that we cannot, as a party, make progress under that circumstance. And I said that the party needs to be recalibrated. And you also just mentioned that SK Ude Okoye has been declared the national secretary through a court judgment. That is part of the recalibration that we are speaking about.
All right. Well, there are rumors. Speaking of defections, there were rumors about the Delta State governor defecting.
Yeah.
Leaders of the People's Democratic Party actually decided to release a statement about it. And they said, no, we need you, Mr. Governor, to clear the air. There are rumors that you're defecting from the PDP to the APC. Clear the air for us, Mr. Governor. Has he cleared the air?
Killer, you cannot bring me here and ask me to come and be confirming rumor.
No, but I'm just saying, has he cleared? Has he said anything?
No,
since these PDP leaders.
Killer, since we agreed on this thing, and we are professional colleagues,
yes, let's
set the rules and follow the limits of those rules.
So he hasn't.
So no, I have not said. I said that I cannot confirm or deny a rumor because it's not a fact. Even you, in asking that question, told me that there's a rumor. So will I come and sit down here now and be responding to a rumor?
See how it
Denied?
was. I'm not asking you to confirm the rumor.
Okay.
There was a rumor
Yes.
that the Delta State governor was defecting.
Yes.
PDP leaders in the state, Delta State, said, Mr. Governor, we heard this rumor.
Yes.
Can you come and clear the air?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. I'm asking, has he cleared the air? I didn't ask if he was defecting or not.
I'm saying that because
I said, has he cleared the air?
The premise of this very discussion is predicated on a rumor. You said there is a rumor, and that certain persons wrote to the governor.
The PDP leaders,
whether they are PDP, whether they are whatever, that they wrote to the governor and asked him to confirm them. Or maybe the governor, like me, also believes that how can they be asking me to confirm or deny a rumor? Because once it's a rumor, we'll wait till when it's attained the position of a fact, of a reality. That's what we can be speaking to. So we can't sit down here, Killer. You and I cannot be talking and be talking about rumor. We have attained a level that is higher than that. If the governor wants to decamp, he will say so. Then it will be a fact.
Okay.
Then we can discuss it. If he's not decamping, he will say so. Then it will be a fact. Then we can discuss it. But to say that certain people came together and said that, oh, the governor wants to decamp, and the governor just ignored. We can't make that a subject of discussion.
Can you talk to us a little bit about Edo and these councils and these local government chairmen? Because I remember all of them used to be members of the PDP. I think 2 have defected now to the All Progressives Congress with everything that's going on. Two of the local government chairmen I know of have defected to the All Progressives Congress, along with councillors. One came with 8 councillors, the other one came with 5 councillors. And I remember at the time, every local government chairman, at the time, everyone was so upset. How can everybody belong to the People's Democratic Party? Was this a free and fair election and whatnot? It does seem unfortunate. Now we have a governor who's from another party, and we're seeing troubles at those local levels with those local government chairmen. The People's Democratic Party has been very upset.
Yeah, I think.
Where do you stand on?
I think it borders on the culture of our politics and the abnormality of the culture of our politics. I'm aware that there's a Supreme Court ruling, or was it the Attorney General, that said that a governor cannot remove.
It was the Attorney General?
Yeah, a governor cannot remove an elected local government chairman or the local government council. And luckily for us, as Nigerians, luckily for us, it is the same government under which the Attorney General has spoken. It is their product in the subnational, that is the All Progressives Congress Party, that is defying the same rule. So that tells you that this set of people, because you say that we should analyze the two parties, that they are very undemocratic.
The governor said.
Yes, that they are very undemocratic.
The governor said his premise was.
Yes.
Submit your financials.
Yes.
Since 2022.
Yes.
Why didn't they just submit the financials?
But is that
what was the big deal? Why didn't the local government chairman just submit the financials?
Killer. We should not look for excuses. What does the law say? The law says that the governor cannot remove local government chairman. That's what the law says. The law didn't say that, if the governor requested that the council chairman should bring their finances and they fail to, then he has the power to remove the local government chairman. Does the law says that? Inasmuch as we flout the law, inasmuch as we refuse to follow what the Constitution, what the law says, you understand? We are not building democracy, and we are not helping the cause of democracy.
Local government autonomy, as ruled on by the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Just give them that financial autonomy.
Yes.
Money comes to you directly.
Yes.
Do what you got to do. But the time that they're asking for, at the time, the local government autonomy wasn't in place yet. Many local government areas were still under the supervision of states. Now, if there is a need for the governor to take a look at those financials, if I became governor now, wouldn't you want to know what these local government chairmen have been doing before we start to make them signatory to account?
Perhaps you'll be surprised that I'm smiling or I'm laughing. Because I've always said, even on this very platform, that instead for us as a people to build strong institutions, we keep building strong individuals. And it's everywhere. And there's no way democracy can thrive that way. There is an auditor general for the local government too. And I believe actually in every state. There's an auditor general for local government. What is the business of governor bypassing the office of the auditor general and going after a local government chairman? Why didn't he ask the auditor general to present to him the audited report of so and so local government? Why? So to me, I believe, and this is where when we speak about the presidency of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his handlers will be talking about hatred. The leadership of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu owes Nigerians huge responsibility in putting the order of our democratic tenets correctly. He has been governor, he has been a senator, he is president, he is surrounded by people who have been elected into offices. So he has a responsibility to Nigerians to ensure that we do this democracy and do it rightly. Otherwise, what does a governor need to go and be following a council chairman about for? When there is an office of the Auditor General of Local Government Accounts. Why is he bypassing that office? It's just to show strength. You understand? To say that, now we are the ones that are there. No, that is not democracy. That's not.
If you could give advice to those local government chairmen who are
who
are dealing with this right now,
the advice
what should they do?
The advice is straight. It is the governor that should allow the office of the Auditor General of the state or the Auditor General of the local governments perform its duty and report back to him. Let the local governments be. And more so, just like you have at the state level or at the national level, the local government system has a parliament. And the function of that parliament, the function of the governor, is dependent. If you are following the 1999 Constitution as amended, I might not be able to give you the appropriate sections. But the actions of the governor is dependent, of the local government chairman, is dependent on the council. And members of the council were supposed to be elected. And I use that purposefully. They were supposed to be elected from their respective wards into the local government council. So, whether the activity of the chairman is right or wrong, it is the council that oversights him. Just like the House of Assembly oversights the governor, and the National Assembly oversights the office of the president. It is the same thing. Why is the governor bypassing this time-tested rule, this set of rules, and going in directly and wanting to remove chairman? That is why the Attorney General respectfully came out and said, no, that isn't the rule.
Governors from the People's Democratic Party, well, some of them, have spoken up against the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike. Not very flattering words were used, but basically accusing him of affecting this party, as the People's Democratic Party, negatively. Is he a force for good? I'm talking about Minister Nyesom Wike. Yeah. Is he a force for good in the People's Democratic Party, especially with everything going on in Rivers State?
Well, I think the situation in Rivers State, I can clearly say that it's been overflowed. From the beginning, the position of the party and the demand of certain people in the party has been that allow the governor, who is the leader of the party in the state, to take charge of the activities of the party in the state. Well, as you know, that matter is in court, and everybody is awaiting the decision of the court in respect of that. But there's also been agitation about whether, Nyesom Wike, the FCT Minister and former governor of Rivers State, is still a member of the PDP or is a member of the APC. And he is saying that, he's a member of the PDP, but he's functioning in the office, he's functioning as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I look back, because we must be guided by precedents in whatever that we want to do. And I look back, and I said that in the history of this country, whether when PDP was in government, or even prior to that time, no one has left his own party to function in the ruling government, where his own party didn't form government at the national. Then he went to function in that government outside of his own party that has ever come back to his party or that has ever worked in the interest of his party. These are facts that we cannot run away from. So, and people are saying that, the party hasn't taken a decision. Well, the party hasn't taken a decision, but the party has set up structure to take that decision. They created the Reconciliation Committee and they created the Disciplinary Committee. So it is the duty of those who have been put in charge of this respective committee. In the Reconciliation Committee, we have former governor of Osun State, Ologbondiyan. In the Disciplinary Committee, we have Chief Tommy Kimi, to take charge of this respective committee. So they need to function, they need to act, they need to take decisions and revert back to the working committee. The working committee will revert back to the NEC.
The time that it is taking for this action to happen is making people to wonder if this action is ever going to happen. Is Wike bigger than the party? If it was someone else, would have been suspended summarily.
I can say that I don't believe that there's any member of a political party that will be bigger than that political party. I can clearly say that. I do not expect any member of a party to be bigger than that political party.
With the money, many people say what is happening in the PDP is money-bag politics. It's money-bag politics. As long as there are some particular people who are the big wigs of the party and are funding everything, how are you going to discipline such a person?
Well, Kela, that has been the issue in public sphere, that, it is because of money. That is why certain persons, including the Minister of FCT, has not been disciplined. I don't agree. You know why?
Why?
There are people who have been elected into office to run the day-by-day activities of that party. One of them is the Elias Udamagum that you mentioned as chairman. We have the former National Secretary, Ayahu, and we have the 17 other members of the National Working Committee, whose duty it is to say that this is what is wrong with the party. And these are the processes we are going to make to correct the wrongness of that action. So if they fail to do their duty, you cannot collaterally blame every member of the party. I don't agree. You look at the leadership of the party, whose responsibility it is to take their decision.
Will this party be able to wrestle power from the APC in 2027?
We have the advantage.
I'm saying that because of a statement that when the National Working Committee went to see the Bayelsa State Governor, they said, we are ready. We are going to wrestle power. Nigerians are yearning for us. Those were the phrases used. Nigerians are yearning for us. Are they? Are Nigerians yearning for you? And even if they were, can you win an election? Can you win against the APC?
Let me give you an assurance, Kela. The PDP is lucky because it has the advantage of time ahead of the 2027 election. It can quickly put its house to order, and that is what Governor of Bayelsa State, Governor Diri, was referencing. And if you look at the movement, the trajectory of the working committees in their visit to Governor Makinde of Oyo State, in their visit to the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, and the visit to Governor Diri of Bayelsa State. If you follow the trajectory of their messaging, you see that it points to a direction of a possible revival of the party and the recalibration of the party to make it work in a manner that it can contest election and rescue Nigerians from these pains. And I have also added that the advantage that is accruing to the PDP is the advantage of time. It can still manage its situation and stand firm for election. But in doing that, I'm also one of those who believe that we must also discuss with other interests and other parties in the national climb with the hope of forming a form of agreement, of alliances, or whatever it is that will make them to work together with a hope and a determination to rescue this country from this slope that is going through.
If Atiku Abubakar had won the elections, would you have asked him, would it have been favorable to the party if he decided not to remove fuel subsidy or float the naira? Because almost everybody's campaign had it. No, we have to remove this corrupt subsidy regime. We have to remove this thing. We need transparency, and we need to be a real economy in the market, actually dealing with economic forces, and then level up as a people. Do you think that the fuel subsidy regime should have continued? And if Atiku had won the election, would the advice have been, no, let the subsidy regime stay?
Well, Killer, without fear of sounding like a broken vein, I've said this here and I've said it on other platforms over and over. And I'm not saying this because I come from the same party with the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, or because I served as a spokesperson in the PDP presidential campaign. No, I'm speaking to what was put before Nigerians ahead of the 2023 election. Atiku's campaign was that subsidy will be phased. You can go into the records, you can go and say, you can fine check it, you can check it up.
So tapered, not,
you understand?
Not yanked off.
Yes, not a holistic removal. He said it will be phased. And Atiku also said that under Obasanjo's presidency, that they phased subsidy removal in 4 ways. And that they did 2 out of these 4 methods. And the other 2 that are left, he will phase them. That he will not do a holistic subsidy removal. So each time that people come around and say that, oh, all the presidential candidates say they will remove subsidy. Agreeable. But strategy was different. Atiku spoke to a phased subsidy removal. And I'm not saying so because I was in his presidential campaign or because I'm in PDP. No, I'm speaking to the truth. But having said that, I hold the opinion that yes, subsidy, yes, floating of the naira, but I believe that it could have been better managed than the way everybody was threw under the bus by this presidency of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I still believe as I speak now that things can still be rejigged. I'm not an economist, and I say that always. But I understand the economy of sustainability. Nigerians, if we continue the way we are now for another 1 year, can we survive? And you are listening to economists who are telling you that, look, even with this process, it will take another 10 to 15 years. Some say it will take 5 years. So isn't there a way that can be recalibrated in a manner that, okay, yes, we agree that we have to do this, but can we remove some level of burden? And Kela, lest I forget, we are still talking about this, and people are talking about bringing VAT, increasing VAT from 7.5 to 10% in the first instance. I don't understand this because the burden that Nigerians bear now, although they are saying that, oh, we'll buy fuel at 500 naira. You understand? We are hoping, even if we buy fuel at 500 naira, has it taken us back to buying fuel at 200 naira, where we were, or 190, where we were before this government came? The answer is no. So the burden on the people, the pains, the pangs on the people, that's our own concern. You are saying that, oh, we are going to El Dorado, where life will be fine, where life will be beautiful. Everybody will not need to work before they will eat. But how do we get there? Is the question. How? The how is the question. With a situation in which owner of limousine, 5 limousine, is now driving Corolla. In a situation in which those who have Venza are now riding Okada. In the situation in which those who are driving a Corolla are now walking on the streets and going there begging. Is that what we are saying?
You said recently that there are people in your party who are, if I want to use your words, prominent party members who are frustrating your party. Who are these prominent members and how are they frustrating the party?
I don't, on what occasion? What did I say that?
You did, you said it in an interview. You said there are prominent party members who are frustrating this party and they need to be flushed out.
No.
You said it in an interview.
No. You see, political party is a free entry and free exit. And if at any point in time, any political party believes that there are certain individuals in the party who are now becoming bigger than the party, like Governor Diri said when the NWC people went to meet him, they can as well take their leave.
Do you think that there are people in your party that are frustrating the party?
If there are people, okay, is Damagum not frustrating the party? Let's even start from the acting national chairman. If he is not frustrating the party, why will he take the party to court? Why will he take the party to court? And even took himself as chairman of the National Working Committee to court, because he also sued the National Working Committee. So how do you explain that? How? So when we talk about frustration in the party, anybody who has a duty, who has a responsibility, and is shying away from that responsibility, and is shying away from that duty, is also frustrating the party. And if you are sitting in a position that you know is not yours, you are taking over the responsibility of 2 offices, whereas you are elected into 1. What are you doing? You are frustrating the party. And like I say always, I have nothing personal against Damagum. But I want People's Democratic Party to be stable. We all need the People's Democratic Party to be firm, to be resolute, to be able to stand firm and stand election in 2027.
So break it down for me a little bit. We still have a little bit of time.
Yes.
What is affecting the stability of the party? In your view, you were National Publicity Secretary of this party.
I was.
And at the time, you inundated us with information. Well, I was almost leaving. I was almost leaving in the PDP secretariat because we don't know the one that Kolawi said today. But really, what do you think is affecting the stability of this party and affecting its ability to win in 2027? Because you just noted yourself that there are things going on. You need this to be fixed. What are the issues in your view?
Our chairman here, and I mean our guy, John Momo, if he's not providing the right leadership, will we be able to sit down here and be engaging and we're doing this engagement? The answer is no. So the challenge of the People's Democratic Party is in its leadership. So and until that one is corrected, we are not going anywhere.
What's wrong with the leadership?
How many times are you going to talk about this, even at this sitting
I want
now?
to hear you say it. What is wrong with
the chairman is not leading the party rightly. We are not winning the election. We are not campaigning.
It's just the chairman that's the problem.
We cannot even, I said the leadership. We cannot even criticize the government. The National Publicity Secretary, Debo Ologbondiyan, strong man, firm, decisive, is putting in all his best. Not too long ago, the chairman of APC, former governor of Kano, Dr. Omar Ganduje, he came out and said that they are going to take over Oyo, they are going to take over Osun, they are going to take over Ekiti, they will take over all the states in the southwest. As the acting national chairman of PDP, as he responded to Ganduje, as he answered him, chairman to chairman, as he spoken like a chairman, that Nigerians will say, oh, you can hear the chairman of PDP speaking.
But the acting national chairman is not the only person in authority in the party.
No.
You only mentioned him.
No.
What about the other people?
The way party runs. Why are you dribbling? Why are you dribbling? I just mentioned that in the local example, as domesticated example as we are seated here, if our Gakwa John Momo is not providing the right leadership, can channel be at pace as it is? Can it? So somebody is at head. It is that person who will run the association, who will run the institution, who will tell Mr. A, you are not doing your job, please do your job. Who will tell Mr. B, we need to go and do this, and they will go and do it. If the man doesn't even understand it, how does he provide that leadership?
Well, that's interesting because the party has a national working committee, it has a national...
Who leads the national...
It has a NEC, it has all of these organizations.
In all those organs, who is expected to provide the leadership? Killer, you are a political reporter now. You cover politics, cover PDP. Who, from your own understanding... You can
call your national chairman to order.
Who, from your own understanding...
The National Working Committee can call the chairman to order.
I say who...
You can point out, sir, you're doing this wrong. We have not... Like in this case you mentioned. Yes. It's not enough for only Ologbondiyan to be going on television to say you have not responded to what Ganduje said. There is National Working Committee, there is NEC, there are all these organs in the party.
Look, from your own experience of covering parties, whose duty it is to manage the affairs of the party. And if we sit down here and we are saying, oh, the NEC has not done this one, oh, the NWC has not done this one. We are supposed to have NEC between April and October. We are in January.
Someone actually bet money that NEC will not hold.
Somebody has bet. Don't mind Geoffrey. Don't mind Geoffrey.
Geoffrey said he needs to know. Don't mind Geoffrey. It still hasn't helped.
Don't mind Geoffrey. It's Geoffrey. It's Geoffrey. But what I'm saying is that, okay, what channel would the NEC use to make those proposals if it cannot have a meeting? You do understand what we are saying? So, and you see, people have a picture of where all these are coming from. But I am somebody who believes that the party needs to work inside first, like you just said now, before you can now say that, oh, it's that person that is not allowing us to do it. What effort have you made? If you have an acting chairman who went to court and say even the party cannot hold meeting, how do you come out of that? How? That's the challenge, Killer.
I want to talk about 2027. I think we still have a few more minutes so we can try and unravel the candidacy of your party for 2027. There are many people in your party who believe that Atiku should not run.
Yeah.
Some other people believe, oh, there should be an alliance between... Go and beg P2B to come back. His sojourn in the Labour Party should be over by now. He should come back. But then, of course, whenever we ask the people from the People's Democratic Party how they feel about Atiku running again in 2027, he has the right to run. He has the constitutional right to run. I get that, but should he, in your view?
Well,
whether he has the right to run, should he?
You know, Kela, because I had the privilege of functioning in their party, I'm a bit very open and democratic. You understand? Mm-hmm. We all know that, okay, Atiku wants to be president. To be the candidate of that party, he needs the win at the convention of the party. Okay, there are other people who want to be president also, want to be presidential candidate of the party. They also need to go to the convention of the party and go and emerge. No matter how feasible it looks, no matter how pleasant it will look that, oh, if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the former Vice President of the Republic of Nigeria, agreed that, oh, he will provide the leadership for the party and he will not run for the presidency, that, oh, that would be smart, that would be nice, that will enable the party to win the election. Fine. But in the final analysis, it's clear. That decision is his and his alone. But the party also has a role. And what is the role of the party? The party needs to come together foremost and say, this is the approach that we are going to adopt in the next convention. And you know, you said a few things here, which is one. Some people said that Atiku should run, some people said Atiku should not run. Some people said they should have Peter Obi, Kwakwanso, and all the other people who are outside, that they should come into the party. This is called build-up. There are narratives to the build-up of the face of what will happen in the 2027. So it is even smart that the narratives are coming this early because we are still in we are just starting 2025. So these are signals that maybe before we reach 2026, if the party can put strongly together, it can lead to a narrative that people can say this is the direction that they will go. But as we are speaking now, it's still dependent on the individuals to say that this is what they want to achieve, this is what they want to do.
If we look back at the last election, maybe we believe that the reason why the PDP is not in power today is because they considered that splitting of P2B from the People's Democratic Party as the major problem. If that could have been fixed, if these two men had come together and found a way to work this out, we wouldn't be having the APC in power right now. Many people believe
Kela, many people believe it.
Should this alliance, in your view, I'm asking you personally, should this alliance happen come 2027? And I don't know how the alliance is going to work because P2B also wants to be president and Atiku also wants to be president. Kwankwaso also wants to be president from the NNPP. So we have these three people who want that #1 seat in the country. How do we get three of them to work together, and who should spearhead that particular alliance, in your view?
Kela, I'm aware, and I say this with every sense of responsibility, that there are leaders in the country who I believe are working in the light of that direction. It might not even be in the direction that you are talking about. It might even be people that you have not set your eyes on. You understand? But I believe that to get out of these woods where we have been locked in now, something has to, there has to be a recalibration of the political process in a manner, and I mean politically, before those handlers will come out and start fighting, needless fight. And I'm emphasizing politically. You understand? I believe that there are people who believe that we need to do something, and I guess they are working on it.
When it comes to Moneybag politics, I mean, you talked about it before, but, you know, I want to be able to talk to you about a little bit of political science, right? So what happens is, for many political thinkers, poverty is a weapon.
Yeah.
And then you weaponize poverty, knowing that it will affect party structure as well.
Yes.
So when it affects party structure, you can now come in, Mr. Moneybag, or sponsor Mr. Moneybag, and the person comes in and controls the party structure, and then he gets whatever the piper wants is played. Whatever tune he wants is played. And while that is going on, you're perpetuating poverty. It can affect party structures and governance, even within political parties. How is the PDP gearing up for this dynamic? Because we will see it play out. If you follow political science, you know that that is where it's going to.
Hila, let us get the party back as a functional political party. Before all these dreams, before all the aspirations can come into play. And I say this with every sense of honesty. The party needs to come together first. Firmly, resolutely. But we are able to achieve that. All this, the analysis that you have just made, will only be in the realm of speculations. You understand? We have a situation in which, like you said in your analysis, even the National Secretary that has been declared by the court is having challenges to assume office. Not because the former secretary has a stay of execution. Not because the former National Secretary has a counter appeal that he has won. No. Just because he's resorting to self-help. Would that help the party? It cannot. We have a situation in which the acting national chairman, he who knows fully well that he's not entitled to that office, is sitting firmly on the chair. So until we are able to put all these, and I also believe that, well, the party is agitated towards resolving all these issues. And I'm very hopeful that once they get it right, we can now begin to see perspectives.
Well, we are about to wrap up, but I just wanted you to talk to the Nigerian people, you know, because the question is in the minds of the people, what do we do next? They keep hearing one thing after the other from the People's Democratic Party. Then you're dealing with the All Progressives Congress. And then you keep hearing what's happening with P2B. P2B yesterday said his life is being threatened. There's also someone from Kaduna said, actually there's someone, a member of your party from Kaduna State. The senator whose life was also being threatened recently. In fact, they said it was an assassination attempt on him. And they're many people worried about, you know, this our civic space and how politics can run, actual democratic politics can run in a civic space that looks like it's being constricted. Just talk to the Nigerian people about what they should expect from the party as we move towards 2027.
First and foremost, I think that Felix Moka's comment, because I watched it live, went overboard. And I don't know whether he meant what he said, or maybe it's just one of those things that would drop out of publicists. You understand?
I mean, the statements that he made about
he made about Peter Obi.
Peter Obi's New Year message.
On Peter Obi's New Year message.
Yes.
Those comments, he went overboard and he didn't need it. But having said that, I think the handlers of Asiwaju, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, needs to concentrate on engaging Nigerians on performance. Because they are the ones who are coming around to say that, oh, it's time for governance. It's not time for politics. But they are also the ones who are heating up the politics. Because you are not going to attack anybody and you don't expect them to respond to you. For instance, consistently, despite the fact they say that they are doing governance, they have been on Peter Obi. When they are not on Peter Obi, they are on Atiku Abubakar. What do you need that for? You have 4 years to govern. Nigerians are not getting the impact of that governance positively. They are not. The other day when the president said that, oh, all the roads, in terms of infrastructure, all the roads are okay and all that and all that. And I was like, let Mr. President fly to Lokoja and return to Abuja by road. He will know that what is being fed with is not correct. If you just take a flight to Lokoja, he lands at Obajana. Then he take a trip by road from Obajana to Abuja. Then he will know that those who are telling him that all the roads in Nigeria are okay, they are just misleading him. So I think that more than ever, since he came in almost 2 years ago, his handlers should concentrate on engaging Nigerians on the issues of governance. Not this attacking individuals, going after Peter Obi, going after Atiku Abubakar. What are they going to gain from that? Because Nigerians are the ones feeling the pulse of what is happening. So, but going back to what you said on the need for our nation to be civic, it depends on the approach of the Tinubu's presidency. It depends on what the approach is.
I want to thank you very much, Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, for being with us on Political Paradigm.
Kila, it's been an opportunity to even sit down with you, this time as friends.
Yes.
Not as combatants.
Not as combatants. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. And good luck with all the work you have ahead of you.
Thank you very much.
We have been speaking with Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. Please join the conversation on YouTube. Leave your comments there. It's channelstv.com. Be respectful with your comments, of course. And join us as we continue to ask the accountability question until it is answered. I'm Kayla Megwa. See you next time.